Good evening and welcome to tonight's regional news. Since vaccinations began, achieving herd immunity has been the goal for every country. Herd immunity is achieved when enough of the population is fully vaccinated against COVID-19 at one point in time, therefore allowing life to return to some semblance of what it was. However, every country's journey to this objective has varied. Health experts in the Twin Island Republic have estimated that between 80 and 90% of the country's population would need to be fully vaccinated to fully benefit from herd immunity. However, at the moment, only roughly 78.6% of the population, or 1.1 million out of the 1.4 million total population, is eligible to be vaccinated under the current national vaccination framework. An average of 973 people per day accessed vaccines over the past week. At this rate, it will take 440 days to inoculate the 429,001 people eligible for vaccination but are yet to access it as of Sunday. This means the country is projected to achieve herd immunity at the earliest, January 2023, if every outstanding person receives a one-shot regimen. That timeline is pushed about a month back for a two-dose regimen. Now in Cuba. Cuban state security agents blocked the organizer of pro-democracy rallies planned for later on Monday from leaving his home. Security forces surrounded the home of Junior Garcia and those of other leading activists on Sunday. The ruling Communist Party has banned the protests, which it says are a U.S.-backed attempt at overthrowing the government. The authorities arrested hundreds of people following protests in July. Unauthorized public gatherings are illegal in Cuba, and those who turn out to march risk being jailed. In Ecuador, at least 68 prisoners have been killed and 25 injured in a new fighting at an Ecuadorian prison where more than 100 inmates died in clashes between rival gangs in September, officials say. The riot at the Littoral Penitentiary in the city of Guayaquil reportedly began on Friday evening. Police tactical units who entered the prison buildings found guns, explosives, and blades, reports say. Officials say they have regained control of the jail. Nearly 300 inmates have died so far this year in the country's prisons, and September's gang-related violence was the worst in Ecuador's history. Some 119 inmates lost their lives during a riot on the 28th of September. And internationally, a 9-year-old boy placed in an induced coma after a crowd surge at the Astroworld Festival in Houston, Texas, has died, a family lawyer says. Ezra Blunt had been on life support in hospital due to the severe brain and organ trauma since the show on November 5. He is the youngest of 10 concert-goers to have been killed after panic broke out during rapper Travis Scott's headline performance. Hundreds of others were hurt when the crowd began to press towards the stage. Attorneys representing more than 200 people claiming they were injured in the crash told reporters on Friday they were filing another 90 lawsuits against the promoters of the event. And finally, an explosion outside Liverpool Women's Hospital on Remembrance Day has been declared as a terror incident by police. A taxi exploded and was engulfed in flames just before 11 hours at a drop-off zone near the entrance, killing the passenger and injuring the driver. The cab driver, named locally as David Perry, was declared a hero by Liverpool Mayor Joanne Anderson for locking the suspect inside the vehicle. 4 men have been arrested in the city under the Terrorism Act. Head of Counter-Terrorism Policing Northwest Russ Jackson said the taxi passenger appeared to have made an, I quote, improvised explosive device, end of quote, which caused the blast. The man's motive was, I quote, yet to be understood, end of quote, officials say. That was all for tonight's regional news. Thank you for joining.